Hello, in this video I want to show you how to graph a quadratic function with GMM in this specific skill. So let's take a look, focus on the quadratic equation that's here. Notice there's ax squared plus bx plus c. The a is the 2, the b, there is no x term, so the b is a 0, and the constant is a negative 2. So I'm supposed to first complete the following table, this t-chart. And it gives you a note. Be sure to use the vertex as one of your points. And the vertex has to be on the axis of symmetry. And the axis of symmetry has to be a vertical line. So it has to have an equation, x equals, which we use the formula, the opposite of b over 2a. So I'm going to use that formula here. I'm going to take the b, and there is no b, so actually it's a 0, so 0 goes in for b. 2 is the a, so 2 times 2 is 4. Now 0 divided by 4 is 0, and the opposite of 0 is 0. So my x equals 0 is my axis of symmetry. So the y-axis, where x is always 0, is going to be the axis of symmetry for this quadratic. So I'm going to tap in a 0 for my x. Now, what's the y output when I put in a 0 where the x is? So I put a 0 where the x is. 0 squared is 0. 0 times 2 is 0. And 0 minus 2 is negative 2. So I know that one of my points, x has to be 0. And the output is negative 2. And that will be the vertex. That will be the place where the parabola curves. Now I need one more ordered pair. And the best one to use other than the vertex is the y-intercept. But in this example, the vertex is also the y-intercept, so I need to have another point. I can't use the same two points. You can't graph anything with just one point. So I need another point. So another easy number to use for x would be a 1. So I got to substitute a 1 in here where the x is. If I put a 1 where the x is, 1 squared is 1. 1 times 2 is 2, and 2 minus 2 is 0. So if I put in a 1, I get out a 0. So I have two ordered pairs that I think should work. So I'm going to check my t-chart. It turns green, so that looks good. So let me clear my screen here. So now I need to graph those 2 points. And when you graph a quadratic function, you need to tell GMM where the vertex is. So got to start with the vertex, and the vertex was this first ordered pair I put. So I need to graph that down below. So I go down here, and I go to 0, negative 2. Okay, that would be my vertex. And then I need to graph 1, 0. So x is 1, y is 0. So that's that point there. But it gave me a straight line. I don't want a line. I want a parabola. So I need to trash that. Didn't mark it wrong. I didn't hit the green check. I'm going to do the parabola. Make sure you mark parabola. Then do your 0, negative 2, your vertex. So GMM knows where to start the parabola. 1, 0 is one of the points. It will automatically make a mirror image. And this opens up. And you're going to go ahead and check. See if you got it right. So let me clear that. Let's look at the next one. So I need to find my axis of symmetry, which will then help me find my vertex. To get the axis of symmetry, I need the b. The b is 8. So 8 goes in the numerator. I need the a, which is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. I need the opposite of that. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Opposite of 2 is negative 2. So that would be my axis of symmetry. So I know I need to put that in, substitute that in where the x's are. Now, negative 2 squared, negative 2 times negative 2 is a positive 4. 4 times 2 is 8, so I get an 8 here. Then when I put a negative 2 here, 8 times negative 2 is negative 16. And what's 8 plus negative 16? It's negative 8. And I have that on the last 8. Negative 8 plus positive 8 is a 0. So I know when I put in a negative 2, which is where my axis of symmetry will be, right where x equals negative 2, when I put in negative 2 for x, my output for y is a 0. That's my vertex. Now I need one more ordered pair. And again, I like to use the y-intercept. So that means when x is 0, so you put a 0 in here, you put a 0 in here, and you end up with 0 plus 0 is, and plus 8 is 8. So 0, 8. The only problem with that is I need ordered pairs that I can graph on here. And notice 0, 8, my y-axis doesn't go up far enough. So instead of using the y-intercept, which is 0, 8, I'm going to substitute in another number. So what other number should I substitute in? Well, 1 is an easy one. So if I put in a 1 where x is, that's 1 squared is 1, times 2 is 2. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 plus 2 is 10. 10 plus 8 is 18. That's even bigger yet. That's not going to fit. So why not use a negative 1? So let's clear my screen. Let me think of using a negative 1. So if I put a negative 1 in for x, negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1 times 2. So it gives me a 2 here. When I put a negative 1 in for that x, I get a negative 8. And 2 plus negative 8 is negative 6. Plus 8 ends up giving you a 2. So I just have to, when I put in a negative 1 as an input, I just had to use order of operations, do things we've done for years, and I came out with an output of 2. Now those two ordered pairs will definitely fit on this graph here. But you want to start with the vertex. So my vertex was the negative 2, 0. So I need to click the line here, click parabola. So I wanted to make a parabola, and negative 2, 0. Negative 2 is x, 0 is y. That's where the line of symmetry is, and that's the vertex. And then I need to graph one more point. Negative 1 is x, and y was 2. So it automatically gives you a parabola that folds over the line of symmetry, and we told it the vertex. And if that vertex is correct, hopefully we got it right. So good luck with those problems.